Great for the skin. Has anybody heard of squalene? You have? No?
Yeah.
Squalene oil? Okay, squalene, this is kind of random, but it's related to olive oil. But it's interesting, when I worked in Las Vegas, we had this product called squalene oil. We couldn't keep it on the shelves. Couldn't keep it on the shelves.
It's
Yes.
a fish.
Yes, it's shark liver oil. It's
It's
liver oil.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, so we couldn't keep it on the shelves. It was in the beauty section. Women would put it on their skin and like wrinkles would disappear and wounds would heal, and it was just like this amazing, wonderful stuff. I wasn't a big fan of selling shark liver oil, so I actually found out that the only other good source of squalene is in olive oil. So that's why olive oil is such a great beauty product, because it has squalene in it, which is super high in antioxidants, oxygenates the body, oxygenates the tissues, oxygenates the cells, oxygenates the skin, which is going to clear up dry, damaged, unhealthy skin. So squalene, great olive oil. We got one left. Man, salt. Is that the last one?
You didn't say anything about cooking with olive oil.
I'm not a big fan of cooking with olive oil. I'm a fan of cooking with coconut oil. Coconut oil is very stable. Olive oil is not. Olive oil is actually one of the least stable oils. So I am not a fan of cooking with olive oil at all. Now that being said, if you do it once in a while, low heat, not a big deal, but I wouldn't be deep fat frying stuff in olive oil and using it a lot. If you're going to fry stuff, use coconut oil. It's very stable, and you're not going to get a lot of the negative carcinogenic effect that you're going to get from olive oil. Okay, so that's why I didn't really even mention it. Salt. Does anybody know where, well, I don't know how to phrase this question. I've told this before, but where the word, this is kind of a giveaway, but the word salary comes from the word salt. You guys know that? So, from like Greek and Roman times, people were paid in salt. That was their day's wages. Because salt is such a beneficial nutrient. Yeah, have a seat on the couch.
No, my list was dropped.
Okay. So, yeah, people were paid in salt. That's where the word salary actually comes from. When people, like armies, were marching across the desert, okay, and they were in survival mode, and they just had to hike across the desert because they were going to vanquish some other tribe or whatever. Never without salt. Never, ever, ever without salt. Now, how many Americans would like believe that when you told them? Because what are we told about salt?
Yeah.
Bad, 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 right? Okay. You know the most important things you need to survive on this planet?
Water and salt.
Water, salt, and oxygen. Air, right? You cannot live without salt. Okay, you cannot get one drop of water into one cell of your body without sodium. Sodium is what pushes water into your cells. Without salt, you die. Okay, so why this big controversy about salt? It's processed garbage. The stuff that we're consuming was never ever meant for human consumption. It was never consumed by people for thousands of years when it comes to salt. Everything you hear that's bad about salt comes from processed salt. Everything.
Is Bragg one of those plants?
Bragg's?
Bragg's and liquid amino?
No, Bragg's liquid amino is fine, but that's not a sea salt. That's not a salt.
It's not salt? Oh. It's amino acid.
It's amino acids. It's from soy.
Okay.
So everything you hear bad about salt, I just want to reiterate this. Everything you hear bad about salt is from processed salt. Okay, everything. Okay, it's a product of industry. It's pulled up in mines. It's a manufactured product that's in goods and services. It's used to make things and build things. I've heard salt in PVC pipe. Okay, it's in everything. People should not be consuming that type of processed salt. Okay, salt from the earth has 80 plus naturally occurring minerals. That's what creates balance. Okay, full spectrum mineral supplements equals balance. Anytime you force an excess of one mineral on the body, it's going to create an imbalance. Okay, so all the problems you hear with salt are because salt is processed to what? NaCl, sodium chloride, which is one mineral. Okay, it's missing the other 80 that it needs to be a whole food. Okay, so anytime you put sodium chloride in the body, Okay, what's going to happen when you put an excess of sodium chloride in the body? So what's that come from? All those processed foods, packaged foods, TV dinners, canned foods, all that garbage that has all that salt in it is all that processed salt. Okay? It's kind of getting back to what does the body understand and recognize? The body understands and recognizes whole foods. That's why with all my herbs, I'm not into standardization. I'm into the whole plant, the whole food, the whole salt, the whole everything. Because that's what the body recognizes as food, because that's what God gave us, right? As soon as you process it, it creates excess imbalances in the body. So when you're talking about sodium chloride, what happens to the body? It either eliminates it, you swell, okay, because it can't eliminate it fast enough. It deposits, okay, so people get arthritis and all these kind of problems because of all this salt buildup, and you retain water and your blood pressure goes up. So again, everything you hear bad about salt is from processed salt, from an excess of a single mineral in your body that's not a food to the body, that's not recognized as a food to the body. So just like with minerals, that's why I'm not a fan of taking tons of vitamin C, ascorbic acid, or whatever. I mean, that's a little different because it's water soluble and you just pee it out and you're just wasting your money. But anytime you put a lot of these isolate nutrients into your body, the body doesn't recognize it as a food. It does more harm than good because it actually takes resources from the body and says, okay, how can I make this into something I can use? So it'll pull resources from your body and try to make it into a whole food. Okay, that's one of the damage of taking synthetic vitamins like Centrum and that kind of garbage. So, okay, I think I've harped enough on that. So that's where salt comes from. People are paid in salt. It's that important. It's that important to our survival. So you want to eat salt. A lot of people crave salt. That's okay. Craving salt does not mean a bag of potato chips. It means sea salt, okay? Because you need it. Your adrenals need it. Your body needs it. You need it for fuel. You need it for energy. You need it for life. So you can balance people's blood pressure just by having them put salt in their water. You tell that to a doctor, they'll be like, are you crazy? In Vegas all the time, 115 degrees, people are dehydrated like nobody's business. They're drinking distilled water. Their blood pressure's through the roof. I go, if they say, a lot of people want a supplement or whatever, but I would tell people, you want a free solution? Get some salt, high quality sea salt, start drinking it in your water every day. I would have people come back after a week. Oh my gosh, my blood pressure is normal, I feel amazing, I'm hydrated, I have energy. It was that simple. Salt in their water. You can eat it in your food, but you get the benefits in the water. Your body's like a giant ocean of electrical activity. So it's the water and the electricity that creates.
Add that to the shooter.
Add that to the shooter, totally. So there's a lot of things you can do with salt. But I just want to mention that because those minerals are so important for every function. The glandular function, specifically the adrenals, the thyroid. It's going to reduce inflammation. It's going to help with arthritis and joint pain. It's also a very powerful antibacterial substance. So a lot of people have heard about swishing with saltwater rinse, running it through the sinuses, okay, for clearing out the sinuses, because it has such strong antibacterial effects as well. Also, organisms hate salt, okay? So again, you're doing a parasite cleanse. You want to throw something at them because you got to hit them all different angles. Do a tablespoon of sea salt in a glass of water in the morning and drink it. It'll flush out. Was one thing recommended by Stanley Burroughs in the Master Cleanse that you do once in a while, once every couple weeks, is a saltwater flush. Some people do it every day. I think that's crazy. But it's very taxing on the system. But doing it once in a while will really flush a lot of gunk out of the system. Also pull a lot of mucus out of the system as well.
Is there anything to watch for, like if commercial for, if they said sea salt, you trust it?
It's hard to know. I wouldn't trust Morton with the 20-foot pole. They're the ones that make all the processed salt. Now they say they got sea salt, it's garbage.
Stuff at Costco, you grind it out?
Yeah, like I have 4 different types in my store. I mean, I have sea salt, I have Redmond real salt, I have Himalayan pink salt.
Is that just as good?
Yeah.
Just as good.
Well, the Himalayan pink salt, just to tell you the difference in the salts real quick, there's been people that have sold Himalayan pink salt in bottles for like $50 a bottle. You can buy a whole bag of it for like $8. It's a method called the Soleil method. I can tell you guys how to do it real quick. It's like the super duper easiest thing on the planet. You take like a mason jar and you fill it with distilled water, purified water, reverse osmosis, whatever kind of water, pure, clean water. You add a couple of teaspoons of Himalayan pink salt to it. Okay, if it all dissolves, you add more. If it all dissolves, you add more. You keep adding water until it's saturated. Okay, when that is completely saturated and it won't hold any more minerals, you have a mineral solution, a mineral supplement. And what you do is you drink a teaspoon of that a day. Okay, so it'll last you months. Okay, and you just do a teaspoon of that a day, and you can just put that in water, or put it in a drink, or put it in a smoothie, or whatever you want. Okay, and that's going to give you your minerals for the
So
day.
you don't need that,
Huh?
you don't need that.
Well, the Adia does. That's a whole another thing, man. That purifies the water and adds 100 minerals and other
Okay.
trace elements, and it cleanses and detoxifies the body. It's a whole another ball game, because that's from volcanic activity. It's a whole another thing. But if you just want a good mineral supplement, like to hydrate you or something like that, yeah, you can just do the salt. It's called the Soleil method, where you add the Himalayan pink salt to the water. So that's a good thing to do too.
What about dead sea salt?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Any pure, unrefined sea salt. The best sea salts in the world are actually harvested out of the ocean, dried right there on the beach, and then packaged up. You know, they're not processed in any way. Which is a lot of. There's a lot of them out there. I mean, you go to Tasteful Olive, and you can buy like 30 different kinds of sea salt from all over the world. You can buy the Hawaiian sea salt and just all kinds of stuff. So if you want to get creative, especially if you cook and you want to be creative. Oh, and the difference in the salts, real quick, from what I've studied, sea salts are your highest mineral content. Celtic sea salt, hands down, your highest mineral content sea salt that's known. Okay, your sea salts,
Oh,
Celtic
okay.
specifically. Yeah,
Okay.
but any of your sea salts are going to have a higher mineral content. The Himalayan pink salt is going to have a lower mineral content, but it has a beautiful geometric structure if you look at it under the microscope. It looks like a snowflake, which is one of the reasons people are really drawn to it, and it just really is hydrating, and people feel amazing when they take it. If you look at sea salt under the microscope, it's a little funky. It's not like a perfect, beautiful snowflake. So the Himalayan pink salt it definitely has other benefits and other qualities, energetic benefits,
I
let's
have
just
both
say.
on hand.
Huh?
Keep them both on.
Keep them both on hand, yeah, because they're cheap. I mean, you know, and we didn't even talk about the other. I'm probably way over my time, but it's just there's so many things you can use for it. I mean, soaking it, you know, soaking it in wounds, helping wounds heal faster, burns. I mean, just yeah. We could go on forever, but it's great to bathe into baths. A lot of people do salts. I have Himalayan. Yeah, I have Himalayan rock salt lamps. They put negative ions out into the air, so they cleanse and purify the air. So that's a great thing. And then I have the bath crystals, like a huge bag of them, like I don't know, $17 or something. You can add to your bath water. So anyway, that's it.